guys, here are my UFC 93 predictions. First prediction is Rich Franklin versus Dan Henderson. In Henderson's last fight, he beat Palhares by decision. Kind of was like a lackluster fight just because Henderson was avoiding being taken down the whole fight, and he outscored Palhares and got the decision. Don't think that's going to happen in this fight. You know, Rich is the underdog in this fight, but I see him coming in, using his angles, throwing some combinations, avoiding Dan's big overhand right. And if Dan does take Rich down, I think Rich will be fine on the ground. You know, I think he's like a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, so he's good. He can, you know, I don't see him getting TKO'd. So I'm picking Rich Franklin by decision. Next prediction is Coleman versus Mauricio Shogun. Now, the two of these guys fought back in 2006, and a minute into the fight, Coleman took Shogun down, and Shogun planted his arm, and he broke it. So I know these two are like itching to fight again. I'm so excited to see this fight as well. After that fight, Coleman fought Fedor like 8 months later and got armbarred by him. And Shogun's last fight was against Forrest, and a lot of people, you know, were very disappointed in his performance. I think this is going to be the big test for Shogun because, you know, he was one of the top fighters in the world, and then he fought Forrest and did not look that great. And I think people, you know, were speculating things. I think in this fight, we're going to see, hopefully, the old Shogun. I'm hoping, at least, because I don't want to see him lose again. I think that he's going to win by TKO, and I'm picking Shogun to win. Next prediction is Belcher versus Denis Kang. Well, should be a good fight. Kang's a really good, well-versed fighter. Been fighting over in Japan. Been fighting for a long, long time. Has a lot of fights. Belcher's also well-rounded, and he's a tough, tough fighter. I think it'll be a real good test to see how good Denis really is. This is Denis' debut in the UFC, so should be really interesting. I'm picking Denis Kang to beat Belcher. I don't know how he's going to do it. I know that sounds pretty lame and pretty vague, but he could win by decision or TKO or submission. And no disrespect to Belcher, because Belcher's very tough, but picking Denis Kang to win. Next prediction is Jeremy Horn versus Rousimar Palhares. And as you can see, my computer kind of froze, so Horn has disappeared. But Palhares is still there. He's peeking. He's peeking over the little thing. He's like saying hello. Anyway, so should be a good fight as usual. Horn, you know, he lost his two last fights by guillotine choke from Dean Lister and Nate Marquardt. And Palhares lost to Dan Henderson. I picked Palhares to beat him. He got Dan Henderson down. First round ran out of time, and then the second and third round looked like he gassed. Jeremy Horn's now facing Palhares, and Palhares is like the submission machine, so it should be a good fight. As good as Horn is on the ground, Palhares, I see getting the submission, so I'm picking Palhares to win by submission. Last prediction is Chris Lytle versus Marcus Davis, and as you can see, my computer's still frozen. You can just see it. Marcus's little shoulder peeking out. Now, Chris Lytle fought Paul Taylor. It was a 3-round battle. Lytle won, and in his post-fight interview, he said he wanted to fight Marcus Davis. Now, Marcus Davis, in his post-fight interview, said he wanted to fight in Ireland. And like an arranged marriage, the UFC brought them together. And now they are fighting in Ireland. So I'm pretty excited. It should be a really good fight. I'm predicting fight of the night. I think the two of them are going to just go at it. I see Marcus winning. I think he has the better hands. Even though Lytle's hands are really good, Davis is phenomenal. So I'm picking him to win by TKO. And hopefully it will be fight of the night and they can win some money and we'll be happy. You'll be happy, I'll be happy, everyone will be happy.